Guys, welcome back to the Loud Voice podcast. I am Martina Wasal, as you all know, and like I told you guys, this season we are speaking about climate change. We are in season 2. It's everything climate change, everything climate justice, everything climate action. How are we solving the climate crisis that we are actually going through right now? And also, like I said, this is a young people's space, trying to make it easier. There's complex jargons and complex science and the politics in it, and just making it palatable for young people, making it easy for young people to know what is happening so that they can act from there. Because with all the dense science and dense jargon that is in climate change, it might be a little bit hard for actually young people to go into it. And most of the time, young people are repelled by everything that is there. You needed to be an expert or in marine and everything. But this podcast is meant to make all this easy for you, for me, and every young person outside there who we want everyone to be about climate change, because this is something that is going to be affecting all of us, and we need to act, all of us. So how about we make it easy for all of us to understand what we are going through? All right. So today, guys, I have with me a guest, a young woman that is, I want to call her an expert, because let me tell you this young lady is passionate, number one, about green careers and sustainability, and also an environmental consultant. When you talk consultancy, it's people know it's big. Okay, so I want to call her an expert in her own field, and I hope that is okay with you. Welcome to the Loud Voice podcast.
Thank you.
Everything climate change, everything young people,
yes.
Just making it easy for all of us to understand.
Yes.
I know you've been in this field for some time, so I believe you have the facts with you and you know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Just not here with stories made up in the air and all that.
No.
Pauline, I know that introduction didn't do you justice, and I'd just love you to take this opportunity to tell our people what exactly you do and how it relates to climate change and climate action and climate justice. So welcome.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm so happy to be here today.
So happy to be here.
It's a very nice platform to reach out to very many people. So first of all, my name is Pauline. I come from Chuka. Chuka is in the Rakanivi County.
Yeah.
And in terms of environment, I can say I'm a jack of all trades in terms of environment. Because environment is such a big area, and for me, I like knowing everything about the environment. So I'm an environmental scientist by profession. I studied environmental science, and I have interned and worked with various organizations and NGOs. And currently I have worked with Green Careers. Green Careers is an NGO that is committed to providing a green space and helping students to transition towards the green space in an easier way. You know, sometimes when you complete your studies, as an environmentalist, all we know is about volunteering. And you know, you have to feed yourself. You have the passion of changing the climate, the world, you know. So we try and engage students and workplaces on how they can absorb these students and they can mentor them through the whole process of being an environmental scientist or being in the climate space. So that is more about the green careers.
What do you mean by green careers in the first place?
So green careers is, you know, when you apply for any course, you can maybe venture into law. You know, law is big. So the green careers is a big space of environmental science, urban planning, wildlife management. So we help these students understand that as a wildlife management student, this is where I can work. This is what I can do apart from working. As an environmental scientist, there are so many areas that I can get into, such as environmental impact assessments, conservation, law, you know. So we really help these students to navigate in an easier way.
So green careers, Sorry for disrupting
Yeah, it's
you.
okay.
Green careers mean any career that deals with anything environment.
Anything
Hata kama
environment.
we ni environmental lawyer, environmental
Yeah,
journalist.
environmental lawyer, environmental journalist, that's a green career.
Oh,
You know, even
nice.
law, everything.
You have made it so look so
Yeah,
pretty and
you know, we
flowery.
really
That's
need
nice.
to break it down so that
Uh-huh.
you can understand, you know, this is what I can do.
Okay.
And as much as also an accountant is the green career space,
Oh.
because we have for now we have the green financing, we have climate financing,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
as an accountant, you really need to understand how financing in the green space works. So that is more about the green careers. I have also volunteered with some organizations in terms of capacity building in various societies and communities by encouraging our youth to get into the green space, to plant more trees, to change the environment, you know. So that is another thing that I've been doing. And at the moment, I can say I am doing, I work at Chuka University. And I work on their 500-acre plot where we encourage farmers and we teach them on regenerative farming, on climate smart agriculture. So everything environment.
Okay. I love that you're doing everything that concerns, because even food systems is still in climate change.
Yeah,
and
it's
climate
still in
actions.
climate change.
Right now, our food systems and our food baskets are declining so much, and just seeing so many young people get into it, because we were at a meeting, an event, a TEDx event, and I had this lady talk about how can I say it? Talk about food systems and how agriculture is not sexy. I love that she used that word, because, like she said, most posters about agriculture and all that is always the faces of older people, older women, older men. And now I'm happy that young people as young as you are now getting into climate smart agriculture.
You know, being in this space is quite intriguing because agriculture, as you remember in high school, we were being told agriculture is the backbone of an economy.
I hated it.
Yeah, I know. And for me, you know, it was really intriguing. You know, you really want to understand how is it a backbone? Why is it the backbone? You know. And while being there and understanding how agriculture helps in food security, adapting to these issues that at the moment we are dealing with climate crisis, and we really need to adapt to climate smart technologies in order to feed ourselves. Food insecurity is such a big issue. So we really need to look into that.
And we also can't now rely on just rain for agriculture, because I know most parts of Africa relies on rain for our agriculture. I know there are areas in this world that have come up with their own ways of inventing rain. I was going to doing a research and people are creating rain. So I don't know what salts and what, and they go up and come back as rain. But most countries in Africa, not even most, all the countries in Africa rely so much on rain for agriculture. So I'm happy that you're getting into it and telling people there are other means of actually doing agriculture apart from the rains, because they are not sustainable anymore. Right? People, agricultural farmers used to know around this time I'm supposed to be tilling land, ready to plant. And now rains are not coming during that time anymore. They're fluctuating and it's so right now you're helping young people get into agriculture.
So right now we are dealing with regenerative farming. This is where bare land in mostly arid areas or semi-arid, we look into ways into how this land we can use it to plant our crops and harvest and adapt.
What are some of the ways that you found that maybe lands that were dry and couldn't be, like agriculture couldn't be performed in them, and now you're regenerating them back into agriculture?
So at the moment, especially where I'm stationed at, we have a river, and the local community will never tap into it. In short, untapped resources. So this river, sometimes you find that these communities do not know how they will ensure that this river will help them to irrigate their farms. So with Chuka University, they've come up with various projects, and they have tapped into these rivers. They have tapped the water, and they have been able to irrigate the land, and they have helped the community in terms of that water. You know, as much as the university is doing that, the community will also benefit from it. And now when you have this water, the next thing is, what will I plant there? You know, it's not every crop that will do well in such an area. So you need to encourage and let these farmers know that for this area, this is the type of crop that you can plant, especially drought resistant crops. And this is the time that will take to mature. This is what you can do, you know. So the whole process of acquiring this water, irrigating, farming, harvesting, post-harvesting methods of how this we can ensure that food security will not be an issue in this area as much as the water is there. Yeah, so that is what we do.
So in short, right now you're an agriculturalist.
Yeah, I can say at the moment
a food system
a climate smart agriculturalist.
Yeah, that is nice.
Yeah,
I'm happy that we young people are now taking up initiatives to actually get into these things and solve the crisis we're going through. Because I know one thing, that Central Kenya has been our breadbasket for so many years as Kenyans. That is where almost all the food, minji, everything comes from. And then now we are hearing that some parts of Central Kenya that is actually experiencing food shortages and are relying on relief food.
Yes.
You know, when that is the area you rely on for food, and now they are relying on food from outside, you get scared a little bit.
So you know that place, actually, as I said, Chuka University, I know when I say Chuka University, someone might be like, where is that?
Yeah.
That is Tharaka Nithi County. Now with Tharaka Nithi County, we have the Tharaka bit, that is the dry area. So we need to ensure that these people, they have been covered properly. We have helped them enough to understand on how we can build our food systems in better ways. Yes.
I'm so happy we got to have you here. I know it's a very short time. I wish we could have more time to talk about all these things that you're doing, and because they're amazing things. But in the interest of time, time is so short, and I'm wishing we could have another time to come back and talk again, but we'll have to work with what we have. So I'm hoping next time maybe we'll meet again and I'll pull you again the same way I pulled you today. Yeah, so I think that is all we have for today from Pauline Kagendo, and a climate smart agriculturalist, trying to just make sure we keep generating more food even in areas that are dry, areas that are perceived to no longer be agricultural worthy.
Yes,
I can say that,
right? Yes.
So Pauline, I'm so happy you got to grace the Love Voice podcast, and I'm hoping I get to see you again and we get to do this again.
Thank you so much. And as we conclude, I know in terms of time, I'd like to say that environmental conservation is everyone's issue and responsibility. We really need to look forward to building and better environments for ourselves and for future generations.
Hope you have all that. I'm not adding anything on top of that. That is enough. It's our both us to do the work to achieve whatever it is we need. Yes. So guys, that is all I had for you today. That's all we had for you today. And until next time,